Time for Sports on the Bayou, a detailed account of the sports scene in Louisiana. Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury will break down the weekly Saints game, brought to you by the American flag, as well as the St. Martin and Bourke weekly LSU breakdown. Harry McCullough will bring us the Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Lafourche Parish segment, featuring key games of local interest. Dr. Pat, our favorite ENT, is always on top of the
asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Stan Gravois will bring us local pertinent medical sports information as well as high school sports. Martin False, that's me, will open up the mics in the crowd to see what's on the fans' mind. More talk and plenty of audience questions. Live from the Eugene and Lorraine Falls studios in Houma, Louisiana, it's time for Sports on the Bayou. And here's Mike Detillier.
Welcome to another version of Sports on the Bayou. Mike Detillier, along with the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert, Rich Maury. Got a lot to talk about this week, and we'll be back momentarily here on Sports on the Bayou.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bourke and Hoffa's-Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bourke and Hoffa's-Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Curtis Calais Welding has been providing contract labor for the offshore oil and gas industry for over 28 years. Curtis Calais Welding is now hiring. All applicants must have a TWIC card and be able to pass an occupational medical exam and a drug screen. Triple C Towing has a fleet of 2 inland tugs to provide service for the oil and gas industry. All vessels are provided with experienced personnel, and we do what we say we will do. Curtis Calais Welding, now hiring, and Triple C Towing, ready to work.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. Saints 33-22 victory over Washington. A lot of offense play by the Saints was similar to the Giants game. I thought the big difference was, one, great special teams. Man, Gillikin, man, his punting was unbelievable. And the Saints defense, they bent and bent, but they didn't break, came up with turnovers. Red zone, man, kick the field goal. We ain't giving you up the touchdown. I think that was the difference in this game.
I think they started out slowly. It didn't look like they had the energy. You're right. They gave up a little bit early on. Of course,
turnovers.
Well, the first 10 plays, James Winston had 2 turnovers.
Right, but they just didn't look like they were plugging in. It's been a long haul for them. I think this, we worry about the bye coming at the end of the season or 3/4 of the way. I think this is a perfect time for the Saints to get the bye. They got the kicking issue. Maybe they can finally get that field goal.
Man, Will Lutz, man, he needs to get back in quick. But we heard Mickey Loomis. Man, he tap danced around if Will Lutz would be back for Seattle.
No, he was saying he might not be.
He might not be when Bobby asked him the question last night. Man, that's not a good sign if Will's not going to be back for Seattle.
The one thing coming back, I think Michael Thomas. I think that's going to help Jameis Winston.
I think now he's held when he's well, but Davenport, the best pass rusher, the most dominant defensive lineman, David Onyemata, Will Lutz, we still don't know, and then Teron Armstead and McCoy. So, Mike, there's like a half a dozen players that a significant impact on the back end when the schedule is going to get tougher. Now, because we play, think about this. We play Seattle Monday Night Football, but no Russell Wilson. Hell yeah, we should win. I don't care if we're going to Seattle. You're facing Geno Smith. I remember Geno Smith is a journeyman. If Geno Smith beats our defense, shame on our defense. That should not happen. Then you got Tampa Bay. That's going to be Halloween day, late afternoon game. Everybody's going to be dressed up before they go trick-or-treating. The dome's going to be crazy. I think truly that'd be more a coming-out party than they had against the Giants. Mike, we were away from home.
Because of who you play.
Yeah, because who you play in, Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. But I can tell you right now, if we continue to do this, we can't help but win. I guarantee you Sean Payton knows this. We cannot help but win, and I'm talking about double-digit games. I'm not going to the playoffs. I don't know what's going to happen beyond that to get to the Super Bowl. But if you have the number one red zone offense as far as scoring touchdowns and number one red zone defense, you're not giving up touchdowns, you're forcing field goals, and we're second in the NFL in the turnover margin at +5. Mike, if that continues, you can't help but win. No. If you look at the parity in the NFL, it's going to happen. The Saints are going to win. If they bend but don't break, and they force in field goals, and we get in the red zone, only one time in the red zone this season have we not scored a touchdown. Think about that.
That's impressive.
No, it's almost 100%.
And you know, the abuse that Jameson gets, he's doing exactly what he's designed to do. Don't give up the ball, though he has missed one or two, but he's doing what they want.
Well, he can throw the deep
ball.
Throw
that 15, 20, hit a couple of long ones, right?
Harris,
and that's huge. I mean, that's a backbreaker.
That rips your heart out if you're a defense to see that one big and then two big plays hit you. Wow.
Well, the Hail Mary he threw to Callaway, that's how people think that's just luck. No, the Saints practiced that. That was coached that way. You couldn't have a better pass. And Holly threw that, and Holly came
hit him in the chest.
And they outfoxed the Washington football team. They think, 8 seconds, they could try and get closer to kick a long field goal. Sean said, no, we're planning for 2 Hail Marys. And to show you how long it takes and all that. So that's, the Saints were lucky. No, they planned for that. I'm telling you, that's what Sean Payton, he gets out coach every now and then, but not too often.
We're going to go to the highlights of the Saints-Washington football game, and Jameis right off the bat, he launches it. Deontay Harris.
What is Landon Collins? Mike, was that Landon Collins right there? You're trying to disguise the coverage. You got deep middle. You got to get back there.
How bad is his injury, though? He'd be back.
Man, a hamstring for him. He might be out a little while. Carl Granderson up with the second in. Alvin Kamara right up the middle.
I love Alvin Kamara. I just don't like the dark shield because I've seen him miss passes. I mean, it's cloudy. Why you have a dark shield on? You can't even see the ball coming.
And I thought this was a big play in the game. Washington's going down to score. And Paulson Adebo, who had been picked on, comes up with the big play. And then this is the halftime launch.
Perfect.
Throws it up. And look at it. There's nobody around him. He just catches it right in the chest for the touchdown.
The Washington football team, they're all flat-footed.
Taylor Heineke throws it, and then another big pickoff. P.J. Williams comes up with an interception. And, man, Heineke threw every game. He throws 2 or 3 of them like that. Then Winston out in the flat.
That was coaching right there. The big play they ran, but it's not going to get called against them because they subtle how they did that. How is that
great design? Yeah.
Then Winston just flips it out in the flat.
Alvin Kamara.
There ain't nobody going to catch him on that play.
Alvin Kamara is so cool. Look at how he just does that. I mean, come on. I love Alvin Kamara, but I'm telling you, I try to keep him humble. Is that you cannot, Jameis threw him an outstanding pass down the sidelines and he dropped it. And Alvin Kamara can catch anything. It's that shield. He got the dark shield. Now, Christian was telling me, we do this on Sports Talk, that dark shield is not approved by the NFL. Now, you can have a clear shield, but I think he wants that dark shield.
I told you why he does it.
To look cool.
Not only to look cool, somebody is paying his fine, and he is getting paid to wear that shield.
Dark shield. because it looks like, I don't know, Darth Vader. Oh, it's like, what's behind the eyes? What's behind the shield? I mean, it looks like one of those things. You never know what he's thinking. You can't see his eyes.
Like Frank Kersey, he's way above the name, image, likeness.
Yeah, right.
So he's getting that into that. We'll be back with more Sports on the Bayou right after this commercial break.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Bacteria and germs run rampant in the air that surrounds us. It's more important than ever to keep our surroundings clean. Introducing BioPure. Specializing in commercial and residential disinfection applications, BioPure's advanced treatment process allows them to disinfect more surfaces quickly and effectively, with no inconvenience to staff or family members. Let BioPure help you create a better environment for everyone. Call for your free consultation today at 985-322-3003.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. The news wasn't nearly as good in Lexington. Sometimes you just saw it, and sometimes you get close to the buzzsaw. And, man, they got caught in the buzzsaw. Kentucky, 42-21 over LSU. I give Mark Stoops a lot of credit. They just come off a big victory. They had not beaten Florida in ages. And you get a little bit full of yourself. You're talking about 18, 22-year-old young men. Everybody's patting them on the back. You're doing great, doing great. And LSU comes rolling into town. And you thought maybe LSU could flip the script here, that they would catch them at the right time. Man, they got caught in the buzzsaw.
Well, we have enough old people here. I love to say that because I'm getting old, whatever. But Kentucky's 6-0. And I asked Mike this, and I told him this. The last time Kentucky was 6-0, you know who was the coach for the Kentucky Wildcats? Paul Bear Bryant. Everyone remembers the Junction Boys at A&M and obviously what he did at Alabama. They were 6-0 in 1950, the last time Kentucky. So you don't think – I think they're kind of focusing on football right now instead of basketball. Man, we got a pretty good team. Now, I don't think they can beat Georgia. Now, that's a different animal in the SEC East. But the one thing, they beat LSU in their own game. This humbled me more than anything if you're an LSU fan. You look at the offense and how we're running the ball, what are we doing? I thought our defense had maybe turned the corner. Kentucky rushed for 330 yards on 45 carries and averaged 7.5 yards a run.
Has anybody ever had three running backs run for 100 yards? They came pretty close, didn't they? Has anyone ever had three running backs run for 100 yards in the same game?
Yeah, I'm sure it's been an occasion, but what's the point you're making, Rich?
Well, didn't they get close to that?
The point is you got run over. You got run over for 330 yards.
One of them had 75. The rest of them had over 100. The other two.
So I see
that was the point I was making.
No matter who was running, right, Kentucky they were running over LSU.
Right. Rich, if you'd have been in the game, you'd have averaged 6 yards.
I'm all right. I'm ready for that. They never called me. I'd have gone.
Rich got those swivel hips. He can get the positive
That's
yards.
rhythm. They call that rhythm.
Yeah, rhythm.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
All right, we're going to go to the highlights
Italian
of
Stallion,
Kentucky's win over LSU. Early on, Will Levy throws it out in the flat. Chris Rodriguez Jr., if you didn't know him, He's the leading rusher in the Southeast Conference. Most people, you couldn't pick him out of a police lineup. And then,
I like that play. You fake the toss
out
and hit
to
him.
Justin Rigg, 34 yards, first down. Then Will again, Wandale Robinson, one of the better receivers in college football.
So, Rich, this is the best game he passed the football. He's the transfer from Penn State.
Yeah, I know. He should have. We needed him this weekend, obviously.
You look at the 7 and how he runs. Sean Payton might have him on a draft board.
Yeah.
Who does he look and run a lot like?
The same number.
The same number.
Taysom
Hill runs a lot like him. And then he goes in for the score. LSU trying to go over the top, but he gets in for the touchdown. Now, the one bright spot you saw certainly in the second half, and was it just a situation where Kentucky was giving it up? But LSU was able to run the football a little bit.
And Kentucky had a good run defense.
Really good. Tyron Davis-Price comes up here with the big run, heads it down the sidelines, sets it up for a short 4th and goal, and Price in for the score.
Mike, you look at it, 147 yards, couple of touchdowns. It should have happened before this, but the first LSU player to exceed 100 yards rushing this season.
And he might be the last. And so Will Levy in again for the score with a little Taysom Hill power run off to the corner. Again, everything Kentucky did seemed to work out right. And boy, they hit this out in the flat.
Well, Kentucky looked way better than Auburn.
There ain't no question about that. No question about it. And they come up with another touchdown here.
But they're wide open. It's not like a little bit open, wide open.
Then Max under some pressure, but throws it out. Great catch here for the touchdown for LSU.
We've been a big play offense, but not often enough, and no consistency with the short game.
And then this here probably lost you the best offensive player LSU has, one of the best in the country. Keyshawn Butte goes down with a leg injury.
That was just bad luck how he landed, Mike.
And lost for the year. And again, with Stingley gone, and we're never going to see Stingley again with the foot surgery for the broken bones. And then now with Butte, difficult situation. And Rodriguez again. I mean, you talk about a tough, hard-nosed guy. He's it. And again, if you didn't know who he was after that game, you figured out why he was leading the SEC in rushing. And then Will, again, right up the middle. And that is the part you don't see that happen.
But it's like the Red Sea. It's like Moses. The seas are parting. Look at that hole.
In the towel.
Come on.
All right, Coach Hebert, how you fix it?
Well, how I fix it, you just better be lucky than good. When we would have thought that Florida's coming to Baton Rouge play at Tiger Stadium, and they're a 10-point favorite. Double-digit favorite. Like, what? Mike, that's not good for
and
Coach
And Tuesday morning, that actually went to 10.5.
Oh, so 10
Now, the question really becomes, how do you, on Coach O's side, how do you hold those guys together and get them playing again?
Well, you keep fighting. You just keep fighting till you go down with the ship.
Yeah.
But I was telling Martin this earlier. Come on. If you keep it in perspective and your life, you go through different decades and what you're doing. Coach O's talked to me. I'm going to share this with y'all. We're going to go talk to him. Okay, what? How do you really feel sorry for yourself? Sorry for yourself is when you're unemployed and you know what you're going to do in the future and you got 6 mouths to feed. Now that's anxiety. That is stress. If you could tell Coach O he'd have one of the most amazing, if not the greatest, college season ever in college football, win a national championship, and now you're a multimillionaire. What? Come on.
And if you get fired tomorrow, they owe you $20 million.
And I'm telling you right now, at $20 million, and Coach O might have to sit out, but in the future, watch if Nick Saban will not go after Coach O. Recruiting.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
At Barker Honda, we're overflowing with used cars.
We have over 100 used cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to sell.
Many units under $8,000. Save thousands on light and used certified vehicles.
At Barker Honda, every unit goes through a 120-point inspection.
So you can buy with confidence.
Come see us today here at Barker Honda Used Cars.
Because you know it's better at Barker.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, you got it, brother.
All right, we are here with our naming sponsors. Let's give a big round of applause for St. Martin and Bork. There he is. And Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. And Cody, you're normally the big shot at the table, but you got some big shots today.
I do. I mean, I had to pull out the big guns today. So with us today, we have Miss Marguerite Nye Irwin, our board chair for Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Tourism, our sales and marketing manager, Mr. Ian Wallace, and then we have Nicole, Chris, and Jason from Lafourche Parish Government.
Now, how y'all doing in the USA poll?
We are currently, for the contest, we are currently sitting at number 1.
Really?
Yeah. So we got to keep voting until October 25th. Keep up at number 1.
So Marguerite gets credit for that, right?
Of course she does. She's been out there.
Marguerite will get a raise if they end up winning.
Yeah.
If you want a raise in the next couple of years, Marguerite gets credit for everything, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, Marguerite, talk to me after the show. I'll be your agent.
If there's money involved,
yeah,
you
but
know
Marguerite, he takes 10% of everything he does. All right?
No, I'll give you a discount.
I'll do it for 5%.
No.
All right. Chucky, baby, Chuck Bork, they've been doing so much for the community at St. Martin and Bork. Give me the latest. What are y'all up to now? Y'all got a lot of things working.
Well, we're still helping out people with their insurance claims. You know, we're getting to that phase now where people are getting some of their initial reports back from the insurance companies. Some are good, some are bad. We're able to help with that. We're also planning another food giveaway. It's something we've been doing. Again, like I said before, we're now at the point where some of the national groups aren't here. They're not around as much. So we're doing what we can, trying to partner up with some other local organizations to make sure people's needs are being met. Some exciting stuff. You know, we do our giveaway every year for Close-Up. Learned the other day that the students from this area will be making the Close-Up trip to Washington, D.C. So we'll be doing that, and we're looking forward to doing our Christmas project again this year for the kids in local schools. We know that's going to be a really big thing this year. And despite everything that's going on, we're going to continue doing what we do to support the local community.
And the most important thing Chuck did today, he brought Laura back. Laura, welcome back. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. That and we got Mr. Mike. Bobby's been wanting to know where Mr. Mike
yes,
was.
I was wondering where he's at. He's back in the house. He's like the Saints season on a roller coaster, up and down. All of a sudden, boy, you look Mississippi State and where they're at. Boy, a tough loss against LSU, but then they beat the Aggies. So that's the way football is. You know, you got to weather the storm. So.
Well, we're glad to have him back with us also.
No doubt. All right, we're going to let Cody, we're going to look at this camera, and he's going to send us to a break with that great voice.
Martin, he's taller than you, you know that?
He is taller than me.
Yeah, well,
Rub it in, Bob.
We'll be back to Sports on the Bayou right after this commercial break.
Ooh, what a voice.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember LaFouche.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, throw it to you.
All right, we're breaking out all the ammo today. Erica Bourgeois is going to announce our corporate sponsors today. Erica?
All right, our corporate sponsors for today are South Louisiana Bank, Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, Alford and Associates, and BioPure.
Yes. I tell you what, we're finding talent all over today.
She just grabbed that microphone right out of your hand, Martin.
Well,
like she just lived with that. It's so natural.
She's a professional.
Yeah.
No, she's better looking than you, Martin. So
that's two in a row.
That's true. That's true.
I would worry if you said just the opposite.
So should Erica.
So now we're going to kick it to Harry McCullough, who's got some special guests.
All right, so now we're going to kick it to Harry McCullough, who's got some special guests.
We will have special guests. Austin Claunch is here from, he's the basketball coach at Nichols. Boy, they got a great schedule, and they got a great thing coming up. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit later. We're going to talk about Nichols football first. They scored 106 points combined with Southeastern this week. 106.
Take the over on that game.
Over 1,000 yards in total offense. So this is the way it happened. Lindsey Scott runs for 27 yards for the touchdown, and Colonels are actually up on the board. Terry Bro told me it was a noon kickoff. It was hot as Hades out there. So there's Cole Kelly. He's out of Turlings Catholic in Lafayette.
That looked like a LSU's defense.
Yep.
You're right. You're right.
Who's covering him?
Kelly's 6'7". He won the Walter Payton Award last year as the most valuable player in that division of football. Transferred from Arkansas. He did good, and he had him up early. You saw the other pass, and Kelly runs it in for the 1 yard run. It's 21-7 at that point. Then Lindsey Scott will find Dejon Dixon. Why don't we get it to him a little more? He scored 171 yards passing.
Mike says that all the time.
Was Dixon. So it was 21-14 at that point. But Cole Kelly back to work. Where's that defense again, huh? 76 yards.
That's wide open.
76 yards.
And you're not distressing the quarterback. I didn't see a pass rush and all that.
So we go to the third quarter, and we kind of falling behind. It's 31-14. There's Kelly again. Picked off this time. We're going the other way. Jordan Jackson, 44 yards.
That's
nice. The pick six. We're back in this ball game. Cole Kelly again to Austin Mitchell.
You got to tackle.
Tackle him.
Guys.
We're diving at their ankles.
He's got a little speed, but
it's like flag football.
It's about running through the guy.
Big flag.
That's where they learn the NFL. That's how they tackle in the NFL.
But here come the Colonels. There's Marquise Albert with the run there. And then Lindsey Scott with the touchdown. So we're back within 3.
Yes.
Back within
Very
3.
entertaining if you like football.
But that didn't last long.
Here's the next kickoff. After it was a 3-point game, Gage Lavarden is not going 10, not going 20,
kicker
not
ain't
going
catching
30.
No, he ain't catching that.
You got the same technique. You dive for the ankles.
He's going 100 yards for the touchdown. And that was really the back breaker.
So wait.
Cole Kelly again for the 3 yards run there. Lindsey Scott, again, they made it competitive. Like I said, we had to score 106 points in this game. Scott again, Dejon Dixon, 21 yards.
Great throw.
He's a good player.
Great throw and catch.
But Cole Kelly would finish it off. The pass out to Bro Docky.
Oh,
Look how strong that is.
But they
threw that ball.
Nobody covered it.
James Winston pass.
There's a trend here. The Colonels score again, but they lose at 58-48.
Wow.
So again, 106 points, over 1,000 yards. The Colonels are now 2-3 on the year, 1-1 in the league. Now they're right in the middle of the league. They'll play Incarnate Word in San Antonio. That's Tom Benson's old school.
Incarnate Word is going to be a challenging game. They're
a pretty good team.
They're always on the cusp of being ranked, top 20, somewhere around there. So that's going to be a tough
One thing with Cole Kelly, he's the stats player of the week. Man, you see the size of that guy. Man, they got a linebacker for Nichols hanging on him, and he throws the ball 17 yards downfield.
And Mike, he might win back-to-back Walter Payton Award if he continues to play on this pace.
But that's the team to beat right there for the conference. And really quick, Mike, 6'7" at quarterback. I remember when Mark McGuire's brother came out. He was like 6'8", 6'9".
Dan McGuire.
Dan McGuire.
Yeah.
But he couldn't run. Watch Cole Kelly. He can run.
But they were always talking about like 6'5" was like the limit.
Yeah, there's always exceptions.
But they used to say that about 6 feet too, you know?
Because listen, if Kyler Murray was here, he legitimate. If he's 5'8", he's lucky.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
He's pretty small, and he's pretty good.
Well, if you look at him, it's not like he's coming out of nowhere. Out of high school, he had a pretty good career. He got a scholarship to Arkansas.
Right.
Yeah, so he's not coming out of
Allen's
nowhere.
good with the Bills. You know, Cam Newton's been good, and those guys are about 6'6".
Frank Selfo has really been the life raft for his career. What Frank did, because a couple years back, we were on the sidelines, and Nichols just killed them that final game of the year. And Frank has built this Southeastern team up. They are really tough.
Right.
Really tough.
Well, Harry, if ever you have any offspring or anybody has offspring and you could kick, and it's kickoff coverage, please don't do that effort when you're so far from the runner and you're diving. It looks like, you're trying to put a great effort,
right?
But you got to try and catch it, get a little closer.
Right. That was
Abear always loves statistics.
Not be a mile away from it. Just
this weekend in the NFL, 13 missed field goals, 17 missed extra points.
Right. The extra point
Just think of that.
An
man,
adventure.
Cade York is like, man, I can't wait for April. You know how early I'm going to get picked? Look how good I am at it.
Even that dude from Texas A&M, boy, just barely snuck it in.
No, that looked like a 9-iron.
Well, and the thing is now, it's not guaranteed when you look at it. I guess that I wasn't for it at the beginning, but I am now. When they move back the extra point, now you see missed extra points. You think it'd be 7 points. It might only be 6.
It's all about the television audience. Look at the games that have been played now in the NFL and how close a point here, a couple of points, and how influential those kicks missed have been on these games.
Look at the game last night. You don't think prime time entertaining?
We'll be back.
Look at the Ravens and the Colts.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e., Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Stan Gravois does a great job each and every week breaking down the high school game. And so, Stan, you got it.
All of our Bayou Region teams are in district play. Hi everybody, I'm Stan Gravois. Let's take a look back at Week 6 of the high school football season in our Bayou Region, and let's preview Week 7.
District 8 4A opened up play this weekend. It was Ellender Memorial at Vanderbilt Catholic. Jalen Coleman on the early score for the Terriers. But Ellender gets right back in it on Vanderbilt's next possession. Xavier Bryant picks up the errant fumble, runs it all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. We have a touchdown apiece. In the second quarter, Ellender takes the lead on this deflected pass. It's hauled in by Ryan Williams. Ellender up 12-7 at this point. But the Terriers score before half as Dominique Archella throws it out to Teddy Golick. He rumbles into the end zone. Vanderbilt leads at 14-12 at halftime. And the Terriers run away with it in the second half. Coleman on this touchdown run in the third quarter. And Jean-Luc Lepere seals the deal for the Terriers. This 40-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Vanderbilt goes on to win this one 40-24 over the Ellender Patriots. Vanderbilt now 1-0 in district play. Thibodaux High School entered district play in 7-5A at 1-0. Hornville at 0-2, but you never would have known it from the outcome of this one. It was all Hornville. The Tigers from Booty used a stifling defense and an offense that was successful on both the ground and in the air. Again, they go on to win this one quite handily. The final score from Thibodaux, 31-0, Hornville Tigers over the Thibodaux Tigers. In a battle of the undefeateds at Pelche Stadium, it was supposed to be a good one between E.D. White and Donaldsonville High School, but it didn't turn out that way. The Cardinal defense, which hasn't given up an offensive point this year, was at it again. J.J. Jones on the tackle here with a little help from his friends. The Cardinals get the ball. They go right down the field. Jake Sternfels on the touchdown early for the Cardinals. On the next Donaldsonville possession, Charlie Hunt with the interception. The offense takes over for E.D. White. They score 14-0 at this point in the game. And then later, still in the first quarter, pass out here from Sternfels to his tight end Harrison Leday. He rumbles into the end zone. 20-0 at the end of the first quarter. The defense of the Cardinals smothered Donaldsonville all night long. Defensive ends Nathan Johnson and Jake Newchurch there first on this one. Aiden Clemens, a big D tackle, coming in to wrap it up. This wasn't even close, folks. E.D. White smashes Donaldsonville 41-0. In other scores, a huge win for H.L. Bourgeois. The Braves defeat East St. John. H.L. Bourgeois rallying around new head coach Sterling Washington. South Lafourche picks up their first win of the season. They smash Morgan City 54-10. The Tarpons are now 1-0 in district play. Assumption gets 2 touchdowns from wide receiver Marcus Molaire. They win it 20-7 over South Terrebonne. After building up a 49-0 halftime lead, Destrehan coast over Central Lafourche. And in other scores of note from Week 6, Terrebonne goes down to Kennedy. Thomas Jefferson smashes Homer Christian. Highland Baptist too much for CCA. St. James gets throttled by Lutcher. Centerville loses to Central Catholic. Patterson gets by Berwick by 1. Ascension Catholic has no problems with White Castle. Hanson Memorial loses to a tough Vermilion Catholic team. And Franklin puts away West St. Mary. With 4 games left in the regular season, in 7-5A, it's everybody chasing Destrehan, the surprise team, H.L. Bourgeois. In District 8-4A, way too early to predict a district frontrunner, but Assumption, Vanderbilt, and South Lafourche do pick up victories in Week 1. In District 9-3A, everybody's good, including Berwick, who must be wondering what they did to the football gods to be put in this district. And finally, in District 8-1A, Vermilion Catholic and Central Catholic, usually your big powerhouses there, but some other teams are making a bid to be at the top. And a look at big matchups in Week 7. In 7-5A football, it'll be Thibodaux at HL Bourgeois. That's a huge rivalry game. Terrebonne at Destrehan. East St. John at Central Lafourche. In 8-4A football on Thursday night at Tom B. Smith, it'll be Vanderbilt at South Terrebonne. Morgan City will be at Assumption. And South Lafourche will be taking on Ellender at Thibodaux High on Friday night. Another big one in 9-3A, E.D. White will take on one-loss Patterson. Houma Christian will travel to Thrive Academy, and Centerville will be at Nicholls State to take on Covenant Christian.
And finally, folks, if you have the opportunity to go out and support these kids who are participating in an extracurricular activity, please do. Whether it's a football game, a cross-country meet, a volleyball match, or going out to a band festival, these kids have had a very unique 3-year high school experience, and they certainly deserve our attention.
We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafourche.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea, which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you or a loved one are having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. This is normally Dr. Pat's segment. Terry Breau's going to be in, but before we throw it to Terry, Bobby, you got something to talk about with Patrick Gisclair.
At South Lafourche. I mean, you know, all of a sudden I'm getting texts, and Mike's texting me, and different people, and Patrick Gisclair was 14 of 14. I want to say for 248 yards, 4 touchdowns. The quarterback at South Lafourche. I can tell you, I played quarterback at South Lafourche. I don't think nobody was ever 14 of 14 was perfect. Okay? The reason why I'm bringing this up, his dad is my godchild, and his grandma is my dad's sister.
He's related.
Dolly, Dolly.
Is he related?
By marriage. So, like
how did that
Patrick, happen? And I was excited. Bo sent me. He's in St. Louis, Missouri, coaching at a Catholic high school. They're #1 in the state of Missouri right now. He's coaching quarterbacks, and he's going to be assistant basketball coach. But he worked with Patrick this summer, like 5 workouts. Said, Dad, I think he can play. He's getting better. He was so excited because Patrick was 14 of 14. Not no against Morgan City. I don't know anything about Morgan City, but still, if you're perfect in a game, 14 of 14, 4 touchdowns. So congratulations, Patrick Gisclair, and old man Dolly to get well. She's dealing with cancer right now. But I tell you what, my dad's looking down and said, oh, yeah, there's something in that gene pool that's working there.
Well, here's the best part. I sent him a deal to congratulate him, and to go to show he got a lot of A-Bear in him, he sends me this message back. He says, thanks, Mr. Mike. Proud of the team for the efforts last night. Bobby J has Momo, Birdie's, Petrie's family on the field. Papa, Paul, A-Bear's family's on the field for the Tarpons. Patrick Gisclair and Brody Petrie. We all in the family.
All in the family. No, representing. Hey, listen, it's all about family. We all know that living down the bayou, that you embrace other people that come in. But listen, I always said this. When I've lived in Georgia, lived in Michigan, lived in California, I've lived all over. So it's like I try and explain to people what does the Bayou region mean, like Terrebonne, Lafourche, and all that. So you know what? Your first cousins are almost like your brothers and sisters. And your second and third cousins are like your first cousins. That makes sense? When you have an extended family, it's way more than you think. It's truly extended.
You need an Excel sheet, though, to keep up with your family.
All right, Terry, you got about 30 seconds.
Hey, look, Bob, Patrick's dad, Troy, works with me at GIS.
Oh, okay.
He started working with us a little while ago, so I talked to him about that yesterday.
All right, awesome.
Look, y'all touched on my Saints question already about getting the guys back, so I got another one. Being that our country's gotten so soft and so politically correct, what do y'all think about the Gruden situation?
Well, you have to watch what you email.
No, you can't be dumb that way. But I had a coach, and we have him on regular, 2 years ago tell me this. Mike, there's a reason why he wasn't coaching for 10 years. He said, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I'm telling you there's a reason. Only one team would hire him, Mark Davis and the Raiders. He said Al would never have hired him. I don't know if he knew specifically about that, but I think he had some residue that was something with John that other teams sort of backed off a little bit on him. And so that didn't surprise me. And, he's so arrogant, doesn't even apologize for it. I mean, he thinks he's a Buffett at this stage.
Well, that's what happens with the guys. They think they're bulletproof. You can say anything you want. Now, and obviously extremely sensitive issue, no matter when it was done. And it was done consistently, so there's something mean.
If it's been one time you understood.
You're pissed off, maybe you say something stupid. I get that, but it was a consistent thing. When they found the other emails, it's a history.
And they weren't even looking for him. They were looking for stuff on the Washington football team, and this lady uncovered those set of emails.
Bruce Allen, when he was, that's why whenever I talked to Rich, I said, you don't have your phone on. You're not recording me, right? I mean, I have to.
One thing with A-Bear, you'll never get caught is saying something on an email or a text.
No.
He don't say nothing.
Because
that's the only time he doesn't say it.
Don't put it in writing.
Because I don't do it. No, the thing is you have to email today, but you have to realize this could last. The day and age we live in the 21st century. Come back to haunt you 12, 15 years later. You got to watch.
We'll be back.
You got to watch what you say.
On the Bayou.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Leg pain, swelling, or ulcers can be signs of vascular disease in the legs. This lack of blood flow can lead to amputation if not treated. Varicose or spider veins may also be signs of venous disease and are more than just a cosmetic problem. Trust the most advanced team of leg pain specialists at Cardiovascular Institute of the South to reopen blockages in the legs and offer minimally invasive in-clinic vein treatments. If you experience leg pain, swelling, or have visible veins, schedule an appointment with us today at cardio.com.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems, and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Motti.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, and H got a special guest and a guy that's really got it going at Nichols.
Now, it's your third year, right?
Heading into year 4. Just finished year 3.
Started 4. It got a winning record at Nichols, doing a great job.
A difference
with the
maker.
program.
He's a difference
But we're going
maker.
to talk about his schedule in just a second. But first of all, hey, let's talk about your assistant coaches that are
Yeah,
here.
sure. I got a couple of my assistants here. My associate head coach, Nick Bowman, has been with me since my first year. And then Stevie Taylor, who's new down here to the Bayou, kind of getting used to what Bob was just talking about, the family down here in the Bayou. So he's embracing it, though. It looks like he's had about 3 plates of food, so he likes the cooking down here. So, no, it's been great. I got a couple of these guys with me.
Right. Good-looking guys. They can get name, image, and likeness. That'll help them.
for sure.
That'll work. Hey, let's talk about the schedule. First of all, let's talk about the preseason schedule, because you guys are doing something great with hurricane relief.
Yeah, no, we're really fortunate to have LSU coming down here next Saturday. Will and those guys.
Next Saturday, everybody.
October 23rd at 1 o'clock in Thibodaux over at Stouffer. We've got LSU coming to town. It's great for our team, but it's even better for this community to have those guys coming down and doing what they're doing to help raise money for hurricane relief. So October 23rd, we play LSU, and it's going to be fun. We're excited for that, and then we play Lafayette on the 1st. But especially just to have LSU.
Is Lafayette here or
guys.
there?
No, Lafayette's up
there.
in Lafayette.
Okay.
But October 23rd is going to be a great day for the community as a whole against LSU.
All right, so Northern Iowa on November 9th is their start. But look who's on their schedule. Remember Baylor? Remember last time we saw them, they were playing the national championship?
Yeah, cut the net.
Baylor's on the schedule.
Awesome.
Wisconsin's on the schedule. Purdue's on the schedule. Oregon State, TCU, all on the schedule. So I guess you got to go make some money, and then you got to hopefully be ready for your conference, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's that, and I also think we have the type of teams, over the past few years that have really embraced playing that type of competition, and I think it ends up, paying out well when you get into conference
You guys
play
are
with the
beating some of those
confidence.
teams.
Yeah, we've had some success against those teams in the past, and I think it bodes well when you start talking about getting into conference play with the rhythm against really good competition. So, we ultimately got to go and raise some money, but at the same time, with the teams that we've had, and I think the team that we have this year can hopefully go and compete and win a few of those games.
That's what it's about, recruiting kids. And, hey, you're going to come here, you're going to play the best. Talk a little bit about your club. What can we expect this year?
Yeah, we've got a good core of guys back. We returned Ty Gordon, who was first team All-League. Raji Lyons, who's a 4-year starter for us, is back as well, using that 5th year of COVID. At 6'11", 275, he's quite a presence down there for us in our league.
I'm 275, but not 6'11". Yeah.
We can use you next week against LSU. We'll put you out there. And then we bring in a lot of, we've hit the transfer portal pretty hard the last couple of years, and we've done that again this year. But again, we like our talent, but that doesn't always translate to win, as you guys know. We've got a long way to go in terms of building that chemistry and that camaraderie, and we're excited to test ourselves out against some of the best teams in the country.
All right, let's see if Bobby's got any clunches in his family tree.
No.
About the only ones we don't have in the family.
I'll tell you, the success that you've had at Nicholls State, and you think wisdom comes with age, but you got wisdom before you getting old. You're like the Sean McVay of college basketball. Look at Sean McVay, what he's done with the Rams and an opportunity. I think you've done an outstanding, unbelievable job, considering given the opportunity and responsibility and how young you are.
And the other thing, too,
that's awesome.
Bobby, walking in some big moccasins, because I asked Ricky Broussard, man, once Richie left, I was like, you sure Coach Claunch is ready? He's like, Mike, he's ready. He's ready.
No, I appreciate that. I'm not sure I'm as good as Coach McVay, but no, I appreciate it. And Richie left a great foundation for me, and to have guys like Coach Broussard in the community that I can kind of lean on, and it makes my job a lot easier for sure. So I appreciate it.
You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it.
Awesome job. This is our first time we've talked over telephone because of COVID over the last couple of years. Let's talk about having the gym full and being able to have fans in the stands and that kind of stuff. That's got to make a difference.
Oh, no, it's going to be great. I mean, I tell people, and I've told guys that we recruited last year that were on the team when Stouffer gets rocking and what this community can bring when you talk about energizing a team. And now they're really going to get to see that even before the season. Again, next week on October 23rd, we expect it to be packed in there, of course, with LSU coming to town as well. So we're excited. It's going to be a great season. We're ready to get get going.
Okay, one more time. Give us where can people buy tickets for that scrimmage?
If you go online at nicholstate.gokernels.com, as well as on LSU's website, they're going to release those tickets later this week.
Yeah, and it'll be a great cause for Hurricane Ida relief.
Yeah, absolutely.
Austin Conch, thanks for being here. We'll be right back with more Sports on the Bayou right after this.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford & Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's not just about insurance. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
We analyze and then custom design your insurance policies to fit your business's needs, not the insurance carriers.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another version of Sports on the Bayou.
Who dat?
Who dat?
Yes.